Hi there, welcome to Transfer Centre. With 3 days now left of the transfer window, and the scramble to get deals done is well underway. Liverpool and Chelsea are leading the way. And they've also, Liverpool agreed to club a record deal worth nearly £50 million for Naby Keita. And a bid over £55 million for a French international as well. West Brom, they're fighting. Ousmane Dembele has become the second most expensive player of all time. We're with the new Barcelona star on, it's official, Dembele Day. So then plenty to get through tonight. We start with Brian Swanson at the Sky Pad. Brian.
Yeah, thanks, Kirsty. We'll kick off with some significant developments involving two Premier League clubs this evening and the future of this man, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain at Arsenal. Sky sources have told us that a fee has been agreed with Chelsea. He's currently with the England squad at St George's Park. It's thought any medical could be carried out at England's training base. It's our understanding an agreement was reached this afternoon, but both clubs have yet to confirm our updates. He joined Arsenal back in 2011 and is known to be unhappy playing as a wing-back. He prefers a central or wide midfield role. He turned down a new offer worth £180,000 a week. So where would Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain play in Antonio Conte's side? Let's have a look then. Could he rival Victor Moses in the right wing-back role? Since Oxlade-Chamberlain moved to wing-back in April this year, he has played one game less than Moses. However, both have created the same number of chances. Chamberlain is the only one to provide an assist, as you can see. He's also completed nearly twice as many crosses and dribbles. Now to significant developments at Liverpool today. We could yet see two club record signings by the end of the window. We're told they have sealed a deal for Naby Keita to join them from RB Leipzig next summer. Liverpool have triggered that £48 million release clause in his contract. That will be activated in July next year. The fee beats the £37 million they paid Roma for Mo Salah. We're told that Liverpool have also made a bid of more than £55 million for this man, Thomas Lemar at Monaco. The French club are assessing any possible replacements before accepting or rejecting the offer. Arsenal have also been trying to sign the French midfielder, but last week Arsene Wenger said that Monaco had decided not to sell Lemar. Wenger said the door was closed. Well, Lemar joined the France squad today. His international head coach Didier Deschamps has said that players will be allowed to have medicals at France's training base. Much more from him shortly. So then Liverpool making moves. Let's take a look at how Lemar performed last season for Monaco. Let's have a look. He played 34 games in the French league, scoring 9 goals, providing 10 assists from midfield. He created 74 chances, 91 dribbles, and his passing accuracy was 83%. But do those stats mean he would improve Liverpool as a team? Let's have a look. Well, looking at this, you would say definitely. Only 3 Liverpool players scored more league goals last season. He made more assists than any of Klopp's players. Only Roberto Firmino created more chances. And Liverpool's potential new transfer record holder could be providing competition on the left wing for Liverpool's former transfer record holder, Sadio Mane. Mane scored more goals, but Lemar provided double the amount of assists. Lemar also created 30 more chances and completed over 20 more dribbles. Well, Kirsty, Philippe Coutinho has been the subject of transfer talk all summer. He wants to join Barcelona this week. Jurgen Klopp was asked about Coutinho after their weekend win, and he said the club's owners had made it clear that Coutinho would not be sold. Liverpool have had no problems without Coutinho on the pitch so far this season. A final decision, though, needs to be made in the next 72 hours.
Liverpool insist they're not selling it. And not just that, they're asking Barcelona not to come back. That's it. It should be the end of the story. Barcelona have got 150, 160 million euros prepared to pay for Coutinho. They want to make a last offer. They feel that they're kind of morally obliged to do so. Hoping we will see, in any case, the plan A is still Coutinho, even though it seems quite clear that he's not going. Well, Monaco are thought to be interested in Renato Sanchez, but our colleagues at Sky in Italy are reporting Liverpool are favourites to sign him on loan from Bayern Munich. Sanchez's agent, Jorge Mendes, was at the Monaco game last night. He's also involved in that deal for Kylian Mbappe that we're going to tell you about shortly. Sanchez, meanwhile, didn't play for Bayern on Saturday. They say that he has asked for some time off to think about some offers. And some more news from Liverpool. We're told Italian club Napoli were interested in signing Simon Mignolet, but they've been told there's no chance
chance of the goalkeeper leaving Anfield. Mignolet was not in the Liverpool squad for yesterday's win. Jurgen Klopp says he still is #1 goalkeeper and he will definitely start their next game away at Manchester City. Now to what would be the second biggest transfer in world football. As we told you last night, an agreement is in place for Kylian Mbappe to join Paris Saint-Germain from Monaco. Today, France's Didier Deschamps all but confirmed he's heading to Paris. He said he is changing clubs, he is staying in Ligue 1. PSG have been trying to do this deal within UEFA's financial fair play rules after that world record transfer of Neymar. The agreed deal is for a loan move with an obligation to buy next summer of more than £166 million. It's still not yet signed. UEFA can't prevent transfers. Remember, they've been speaking to clubs all summer to remind them of their rules. Here's more from France's manager.
The future will tell us if he made the right choice or not. It's his own choice, as you know. If he's not ready to go abroad to Real Madrid, it is because he feels that way. It's how he analysed it. He just had 6 great months with Monaco. If he feels he needs more time to decide, I'm not going to complain. You're not going to complain that he chooses to stay in France. He moves to another club, but he stays in Ligue 1. Others left, like Kingsley Coman. Paul Pogba left early too. Anthony Martial did the same. Ousmane Dembele, after his great season in Rennes when he left for Dortmund, we all thought, what is he doing there? Today, he's in Barcelona. He didn't make the wrong choice either. You should go step by step. When you join a great club abroad or in France, you'll have to face the competition. The requirements are also higher. If Kylian didn't feel he was ready to go abroad, it's because that's how he felt. He's down to earth and knows well what he can do and what he can do better. It's a great thing that he can stay in Ligue 1.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at this, because here is another huge hint, possibly, that Mbappe has already, in fact, left Monaco, because lots of unverified accounts on Twitter have shown these leaked images of Inter Milan's Stefan Jovetic posing in a Monaco shirt with Kylian Mbappe's number 10 on the back. This is one of the unverified accounts, as you can see, which just says leaked photos ahead of Jovetic's unveiling as a Monaco player show that he has taken Kylian Mbappe's number 10 shirt. So certainly a pretty big hint right now.
So Monaco very much a key club to watch in the final few days here. They're also interested in signing Leicester striker Islam Slimani, but we are told another big European club have made a late bid to sign him. We've been promised more information on this later on tonight, so stay with us. It does seem increasingly likely that Slimani will be leaving a year after he arrived for £29 million for Sporting Lisbon. And in terms of other players to watch, of course, we've seen them linked with this man, Jonny Evans, the future of him at West Brom. Manchester City want him, they want to sign him. Leicester have made a £21 million bid for Evans, but that has been rejected out of hand. West Brom value Evans at about £30 million. City expected to make another bid for him before Thursday's deadline. West Brom lining up a replacement. Sky sources say they are interested in signing Fenerbahce defender Joseph de Souza. Now to significant developments at Stoke today, and Kevin Wimmer, he's passed his medical ahead of a move from Tottenham. Talks have taken place over personal terms. It's expected an announcement in the next 24 hours. We understand Stoke will pay Tottenham up to £18 million, 50 million up to £18 million. That would be just short, Kirsty, of a club record.
Thanks very much indeed, Brian. For now, Ousmane Dembele's completed his £135.5 million move to Barcelona. It makes him the second most expensive player of all time after the man. He's replacing Neymar. The France international has signed a 5-year deal. He was presented as a Barca player today. So another huge transfer fee for the player, continuing the upward trend of recent years. Let's have a look. This one seems a long while ago, doesn't it now? Gareth Bale joining Real Madrid from Tottenham in September 2013. He became the world's most expensive player at the age of 24 then. This one, as we know, it happened earlier this summer. Romelu Lukaku joining Manchester United for a fee of £90 million. And he's joined his friend Paul Pogba, who last summer arrived at Old Trafford for a fee of over £93 million. There we have Ousmane Dembele. We've just seen him at just 20 years old. Would you believe it? He's joined Barcelona for a fee that could rise to over £135 million. That's with add-ons. But the most expensive transfer of all time is over £50 million more expensive than Dembele. It's Neymar, of course, who joins Paris Saint-Germain earlier this summer. Well, Dortmund have...
The extraordinary standoff between Diego Costa and Chelsea continues in the final few days of this summer's transfer window. He's been in Brazil, he wants to go to Atletico Madrid, but they are refusing to pay Chelsea's asking price, and they're banned from registering players until January. Well, Monaco and Everton are also interested, but so far Costa has said he only wants to go to Atletico. Unless something changes in the next 72 hours, Costa will remain in a Chelsea shirt. That would seem incredible after what we've seen this summer, so watch this space. Now, what about potential new signings at Chelsea? Talks ongoing for them to sign Danny Drinkwater from Leicester. We're told the biggest issue here remains valuation. Leicester want around £40 million. Drinkwater wasn't involved on Saturday as they lost at Manchester United. Chelsea also want to sign up a backup striker. They remain interested in Fernando Llorente. He scored 15 times for Swansea last season, and Antonio Conte knows him well from their time together at Juventus. This deal may depend on Swansea signing a replacement striker. They're still in talks with Manchester City over Wilfried Bony. Now, Tottenham have agreed a deal with Estudiantes for Juan Foyth. He's a 19-year-old centre-back. Seen as one for the future. Tottenham have made 2 signings so far in this window. Maurizio Pochettino says he's confident of bringing in at least 3 more players before the deadline. Serge Aurier is a target. Tottenham have agreed a deal with PSG to sign the right back. He has completed his medical ahead of a £23 million move. He needs a work permit though, and that is complicated because of an assault conviction last year. He's appealed against that conviction, and he's hoping to find out about his work permit in the next few days. In terms of potential departures, our colleagues at Sky in Italy are reporting that Inter Milan are trying for Moussa Sissoko on loan. Sissoko came on in the second half, substitute against Burnley. Spurs signed him from Newcastle on deadline day last summer, remember that, but he's only started, 9 league games since then. In terms of players to watch, another player to keep tracking in the final few days of this window, is West Ham, and this man, their target, William Carvalho. They've been trying to sign him from Sporting Lisbon, but this deal has become more complicated because last Friday West Ham decided to walk away. That's where it says there, deal of £33 million. Too expensive. West Ham were willing to go up to £33 million, but Sporting want closer to £40 million, with just 3 days left for either Sporting to lower their asking price or for West Ham to increase their bid. It remains to be seen what will happen there, but just because it says deal off there doesn't mean that this won't happen, but at the moment there is a stalemate in this. Now, the countdown continues as far as this window concerns, and an interesting dimension to the window this week is the number of international games that are being played from this Thursday. Players scattered around the world. Medicals have to be arranged in some of those countries. We're with the Belgian squad, and they could lose at least 5 players, including Nasser Chadli, to complete some transfers.
The 31st of August is the deadline day for a few markets. The 1st of September is the deadline day for a few markets. And that's something that I took in consideration when we called a squad of 28 players, because this is the reality that happens. Certain players, I would say maybe 5 in the squad, could be in a position that they could change the clubs. From our environment will help the players to find solution into this moment that can be a little bit stressful and a little bit difficult. So I don't see that as a problem. We need to help the players to find the right outcome.
Another player linked with a move away from Arsenal is Shkodran Mustafi. He was an unused substitute yesterday. Inter Milan believe they are close to signing him on loan. We're told Mustafi remains very much their #1 choice. Now, a lot of talk regarding Newcastle United in this transfer window. To a departure there today, they have sold Siem de Jong to Ajax for a fee of around £4 million. He joined Newcastle from Ajax in 2014 on a 6-year contract, but struggled with injuries, including a collapsed lung. He scored just once for Newcastle. And we'll end this update up in Scotland. Developments today concerning Celtic. They have confirmed the signing of Patrick Roberts from Manchester City. He has joined on a season-long loan. Roberts was at Celtic Park today, where he completed his medical as well. He's previously spent 18 months on loan at the club. He scored 17 goals in 60 games. He is a familiar face as far as the club are concerned. Now, clubs in the Premier League and in England have until 11 p.m. on Thursday night to complete their transfer business this summer. This is the business end of the window, Kirsty. A number of clubs tell us they are expecting to be busy in these final few days.
I bet they will. Brian, thank you so much for that. So we're on the countdown here at Sky Sports News until the transfer window closes on Thursday. But it's not just in England, of course, where clubs are looking at getting deals over the line. Let's now get an update from our colleagues in Germany.
The biggest thing in Germany these days, no question, the most expensive transfer in Bundesliga history. Ousmane Dembele's move from Dortmund to Barcelona up to 147 million euro. The problem of Dortmund now is that everybody knows there's a lot of money in Dortmund. But Borussia won't do crazy things. An emotional issue is the future of Benedikt Höwedes at Schalke. He played there for 16 years now, and the supporters love him, but the new coach Domenico Tedesco doesn't count on his qualities anymore. So Höwedes wants to leave because he doesn't want to risk his chances playing the World Cup 2018. Juventus wants to sign him on loan, but Schalke wants to sell him. So the final agreement isn't there yet. And then there's the future of European champion Renato Sanches. Bayern coach Carlo Ancelotti said if he stays, it's okay. If he leaves, it's okay. Sanches wasn't nominated for the squad at the weekend. He had the permission to check his future, so probably there will happen something on loan. The question is just to which club? Maybe in the Premier League. So you see also in the Bundesliga, there are a lot of question marks until the end of the deadline day.
So that's the news then from our German colleagues. But what's happening in the Italian market? Plenty, I'm sure. Well, Gilda Pensante has the very latest for us.
Many big Serie A clubs are still hoping to reinforce the squads in the last 4 days. Inter Milan are looking for a defender. Now the easiest option seems to be Mangala from Manchester City on a loan. The contacts between the two clubs are going on, while in the next few hours the defender is expected to meet City to discuss a move to Milan. As for Mustafi, the situation is a little more difficult at the moment. There is an agreement between the player and Inter Milan, while an understanding between the two clubs is still to be found. Speaking of defender, Juventus are looking to another centre-back, in this case of a Germany national team, Höwedes, who is fine with the move to Turin. Schalke would accept an offer of a loan with an option to buy for Juventus. The next few hours would be very important to see if the deal can be closed. Last, Napoli. So we're talking about goalkeepers in this case. Pepe Reina is expected to leave the club. I mean, we can say it might be that he leaves the club. Last night he seemed to say goodbye to his fans after the match won against Atalanta in a Serie A match on Sunday night. Paris Saint-Germain made an offer for the Spanish goalkeeper, but Napoli don't want to let him go now. At least they have to find a replacement first. A first replacement should be from Real Sociedad, an Argentinian goalkeeper, Geronimo Rulli. It's not easy, but it's maybe easier than Mignolet, another name done for Napoli. Napoli got in touch with the agent of the goalkeeper of Liverpool, but Liverpool at the moment does not want to let him go, so it seems a very difficult route.
So that's Europe then. Big news in Scotland, big managerial news in fact today, because Craig Levein has returned to the dugout at Hearts but will retain the overall responsibilities associated with his previous role as director of football.